In this video, we're going to be doing a nice restorative practice, and we don't have our common yoga props that you would find in a studio, but luckily most people have items that we can use for a restorative practice right in their own homes. So what you'll need for this practice today is a towel, a pillow, and a thick book or two. Go ahead and grab those items and then we'll begin. A couple things to keep in mind with this practice is that my props are going to be probably different sizes than what you have at home. So you might need to experiment a little bit and adjust as needed. Also, please be careful when using the books, as they can be a little slidey. So make sure that with any poses that we do using books that you're going into it very carefully and that the books are secure. I'd also recommend, if using just one pillow is not comfortable, use two pillows. For a lot of these poses, two pillows might actually be ideal. So I have one pillow here, but if you have two, that's even better. Okay. So the first pose we're going to do is just a really nice restorative pose for kind of opening up the chest a little bit and getting a very, very gentle back bend. You can also open up through the hips in this pose too. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your pillow, and then you can place your books underneath it. Good. So you're making kind of a little bit of a ramp here. You're gonna lie down onto your pillow. You're gonna lie the length of your spine down onto it. Now, we can use our towel here as well. If you open up your towel, and then keeping it nice and long, you can begin to just roll it up. Okay. So it looks a little bit like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not a big deal. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your feet together and just take this towel around your ankles. Okay, so you're gonna lower down, make any adjustments. If you need to move the books a little bit just to make it a little bit more comfortable, you can. If this is super uncomfortable for your head and neck, you can also place a blanket or a towel underneath your head for a little bit of extra cushioning. And then we grab our towel here. We bring our feet in close to us and we open up through the knees. Okay, and so you have your towel underneath, just right underneath your thighs for a little bit of extra support. Okay, so you're gonna wanna relax as much as possible here. So make sure you're comfortable. Relax your arms out to the side. Close your eyes. And we'll just find a few nice deep breaths here. If you feel your mind begin to wander off, gently direct it back to your breath. Great, so bringing your knees together, we'll move the towel out of the way and just extend the legs forward. Bring the arms up overhead and just get a nice big stretch through the whole body here. And with the arms alongside you, press into the hands and gently lift yourself up. Okay. So we'll find another back bend. This one's a little bit more intense, but nothing, it's still pretty relaxing, so don't get nervous. Now, this might depend on how big your towel is, so you'll have to kind of adjust as needed. But we're going to fold up our towel, then we'll create a roll. So we'll begin to just roll up the towel. Now, my towel isn't super thick, so this might be good. If you find that your towel is super thick or uncomfortable, you might have to roll it out a little bit, okay? But what we want is we want the towel to be right underneath the tips of the shoulder blades here, so that your armpits are actually going to be above the top of the towel. Okay. We'll have the pillow right underneath our knees. Okay. So it takes a little bit of maneuvering, but again, we're just rolling over the towel here. And then if you can, I don't have a lot of room here to put my arms, but if you can, just have your arms out to the side, or just allow them to be as comfortable as possible. Okay, now, what do you do if your roll is a little bit too thick? You just unroll it a little bit, okay? We want this to be comfortable, so you will feel a bit of a back bend, but if it's creating any pain, you'll want to definitely lessen the thickness of the roll. Now another option to do with the arms here, if it feels okay, is actually to make cactus shaped arms. So the elbows aren't in line with the shoulders and the forearms are parallel to the sides of the mat. Good, so let's just take one more breath here. Gently roll onto your side and lift yourself up. All right, so we're gonna put our towel off to the side for now. And we're gonna take our pillow back towards the front of the mat. Bring your right hip to the side of the pillow. Your knees are facing the same direction. From here, we're going to find a side stretch with a little tiny twist. The twist is optional, so listen to your body and do whatever feels best. But taking one hand to each side of the pillow. You're gonna lengthen through the right side of the body. Now you can just lie down here if that feels good, or you can begin to find a little bit of twisting movement with the chest. So you're rotating your chest towards the pillow a little bit. And then you're releasing down, okay? And do whatever you need to make this as comfortable as possible. So my pillow is a little short, so I'm supporting my head with my hands here. And just relax. Now, if this is a little low, you can always use 2 pillows here as well. Sometimes that will feel a little bit better if this is uncomfortable. Let's take one more breath here. And gently begin to lift yourself up. Let's take a quick side stretch. So take your left hand out to the side and bring your right arm up and over. Just a nice side stretch here. And bringing yourself up. We'll switch sides. So left hip's gonna come to the side of the pillow now. Knees are facing the same direction. Same thing we did on the opposite side. So again, you're finding a side stretch. You can also find a little bit of a twisting movement too. Okay. So side stretch and then rotate the chest just a little bit and release yourself down. Make sure your head's supported. So, ideally you'd have a larger pillow so that your head would be under or over the pillow as well, or on top of the pillow as well. My pillow, again, is too short, so I can also use my towel here if that feels okay, and just rest my head on the towel. Just so that I have the cushioning. And you want to be relaxed with the arms. One more breath here. And gently lift yourself back up. Let's take a side stretch. All right, we're gonna use the books. So it really doesn't matter. It kind of just depends on what feels best for you. If you only have one book, I mean, we should talk about that. But if you only have one book to use for props right now, not a big deal. So what you're gonna do is release yourself down. Right? You can kind of fill it out. Now it's really important here. We're gonna begin to lift up with the hips. I don't want you to be trying to watch me as you do this. It's not very safe for the neck. So when you do this, you need to be looking up towards the ceiling. So if you need to watch me first and then do it, go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm just gonna lift up my hips. I'm gonna take one block, place it underneath my sacrum. That's a triangular bone right underneath the lumbar part of my spine, so right underneath the lower back. Okay, so this is one book, feels a-okay. If I want to do another one, I just lift up a little bit higher, and there we go. I'm now supported in a bridge pose by my books. This should feel nice on the lower back. The higher up, the more you're really gonna feel a more active bridge pose as opposed to like a super supported bridge pose. So, you know, it might feel really nice for the lower back to actually just have one block and just have that little bit of height. So do whatever feels best for you in this moment. Allow yourself to relax here. All right, so from here, what are you doing? We're gonna bring our hands to the books just to keep them so that they're not falling over on you. And we'll extend the legs up. So if you're finding that this is just really uncomfortable because your books are too hard or something like that, you can always use your towel and just kind of place it over the books for a little extra cushioning. So I'm gonna do that, just so it's a little softer. And then lift up. And if it's still really uncomfortable, then just return the feet down. Okay, we want this to be comfortable. So let's take one more breath here. Return to a bend in the knees. Drop one foot down and drop the other foot down. We'll lift up our hips slightly higher than the books, move them off to the side, and release down. So for our last pose, we'll just have the pillow underneath the knees, and you can use your towel again as a pillow underneath your head. So just fold it up. Again, if you have two pillows, that might feel even better, but use whatever you have. Good, let's all just take a nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale fully out the mouth. Nice deep breath in and out. One more time like that. Nice deep breath in. And out. Now's the time to fully relax. Let's take one more breath here. Lifting up with the arms. And gently rolling onto your side. As you roll onto your side, take your pillow and just bring it in between your knees here. And just take a moment in a fetal position on your side. Have your arm underneath you as a little pillow under your head. From here, when you're ready, bring yourself up. I hope you enjoyed this restorative practice. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.